Good evening, membership champions. We're so excited you've joined us because it means you want to see your Rotary Club grow. You want to see it have greater impact in your community and make sure your members' experiences are the very best they can be. The goal of our Membership Action Plan team is to establish membership growth as a catalyst to fulfill Rotary International's vision statement. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and perhaps most importantly, within ourselves. But it's clear that while some clubs are succeeding in growing membership, many clubs need a plan that they can easily follow, and that's immediately actionable. And it's backed by real-time data, of course. The Membership Action Plan, or MAP as we call it, offers a multi-year, data-driven, step-by-step plan to help our clubs achieve consistent, moderate membership growth. We know that by growing your clubs, you create lasting change in your communities. And these monthly sessions will provide fundamental techniques to help all of our clubs grow membership, grow impact in the community, and grow fellowship opportunities. And importantly, and not just during Foundation Month, grow support of our amazing Rotary Foundation. But today, we're going to talk about some myths and legends, and all in the cause of looking forward innovatively. And please note that the methods and approaches you'll hear about are proven to work, but they aren't intended to replace successful processes that are already working in your clubs. In fact, we always want to hear about these too. Now on to our awards program. This year, it's based on two important criteria. The first is completing action items that will help you put your club on the path to growth. On this slide, you can see the first action items that were shared in the first two MAP webinars of this 23-24 Rotary year. I hope you've already completed these items, but if not, there is still time for you to do so. The second criterion is to achieve membership growth during this year. Of course, if you implement the action items effectively, you'll be well on your way to achieving this. So as always, if you have questions regarding the awards program, please put them in the chat box. Hopefully by now, you've had an opportunity to see the trailer teaser leading up to tonight's event. It's been on social media, it's out via email. There are a lot of myths out there about what a companion club is, but the number one question we receive is, what is the difference between a satellite and a companion club? So let's play a quick video to help answer this question. And for that, we have the cousin of our beloved George Robertson Burnett, Angus. Angus, please enlighten us.
Hello there, fellow Rotarians. Angus here, distant cousin of George Robertson Burnett, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be with you today. I've got something special to share. Something that's close to my Rotary heart, a doodle video that dives deep into the fantastic world of companion clubs. Today, we're exploring the myths behind companion clubs and satellite clubs, and let me tell you, it's like unraveling a treasure trove of Rotary goodness. I've always believed that understanding our unique Rotary club models is like peeling back the layers of a fine Scottish neep. That's a turnip for our non-Scottish friends. Each layer reveals a new flavour, a new purpose. So, grab your tea or coffee, get cozy, and let's embark on this Rotary Map adventure together. I promise you, it's going to be as delightful as a dram of single malt on a chilly Scottish evening. Here's to the beauty of Rotary, the camaraderie of companionship, and the excitement of launching satellites into the Rotary cosmos. You see what I did there? Without further ado, let the doodle magic begin. Cheers, my Rotary friends.
Welcome to Rotary Explained. Today we are going to take a deep dive into the Rotary model types, satellite clubs and companion clubs. In the world of Rotary, two important myths or misconceptions exist. What is the difference between satellite clubs and companion clubs? Let's start with satellite clubs. Satellite clubs are like the seeds of Rotary growth. When there is a need in Rotary to start a new club, maybe in a town that doesn't have one or an underserved market, a small group of 8 people along with a sponsoring club form a satellite club. Most operate independently from the sponsor as it grows. When the satellite reaches a certain number of members, it applies for a charter, and a new club grows. When Rotary wants to expand and foster growth, they form a satellite club. It might be that there is no Rotary Club where the satellite will take shape, and this is a way to bring Rotary to new areas. Now, let's move on to companion clubs. Companion clubs are more like an extension of an existing club. The sole purpose of adding a companion club is to build up our existing clubs instead of creating a new one. Sometimes, Rotarians want to create a specialized focus within their club, like a unique service project or a cause-based initiative. Or they might want an alternative meeting time or allow for people with varying work schedules to serve differently. That's where companion clubs come in. Companion clubs are a way to support these specialized activities within the existing Rotary Club. They work hand in hand, collaborating for a common cause, all the while building up the existing club's membership. Remember, all members of a companion club count towards the parent club's membership numbers. So, what's the key difference between satellite clubs and companion clubs? Satellite clubs are mainly about growth and creating new Rotary clubs, while companion clubs are known for extending the impact of an existing club with powerhouse growth and giving the clubs a tool to minimize attrition. In Rotary, whether it's a satellite club or a companion club, our aim remains the same: making a positive difference in our communities and the world.
Now, wasn't that an interesting and important video? I'm not sure about you, but I enjoyed both the innovative presentation and also the content. To dig a little deeper into the content, I'd like to introduce to you Chris Jones. Chris is a longtime membership advocate within Rotary, and he started his Rotary journey at club level in 2001. And then throughout his journey, his primary focus is how do we integrate membership in all that we do? Chris believes that everything in Rotary starts with a member, and he is dead right. Chris, over to you.
Thanks, Jeremy. Much appreciated. And yeah, that was a great video. Really liked the new format, and it seemed really interesting. So as we saw, the companion club model is an effective way for Rotary clubs to achieve their mission of service above self. By establishing a companion club, we are expanding our reach and increasing our impact while maintaining close ties to its home club. This approach allows for greater collaboration and coordination between the two branches of the same club, as well as shared resources and expertise, meaning that we are enhancing overall participant engagement. The key difference between a companion club and a satellite club is that a companion club is established to support an existing Rotary club, while in many cases, and not all, a satellite club is formed as a separate entity to expand the reach of Rotary by eventually breaking off onto its own. Companion clubs help build up the existing Rotary club altogether. All of this demonstrates how we are increasing our ability to adapt, creating everlasting change in our communities and in our membership. On this next slide, please note that the companion club model and type is recognized by Rotary International in the Club Types and Formats document that's found on rotary.org/membership webpage. So not to worry, the Rotary Police will not be coming after you. And now let's move on to the second myth. Our next most asked question is, what is an impact club and how does that differ from a companion club? To answer this myth, let's take a look at this next quick video.
Now that you know the difference between satellite clubs and companion clubs, we're going to dive deeper into companion clubs. Now remember that companion clubs are a model type in Rotary. Companion clubs can be an impact club that's service-focused. It could be environmental-based or cause-based or even a specialty club. Companion club options are unlimited. These clubs are used to build up existing clubs and reach the arms of Rotary out into the community. Companion clubs could be an impact club focused on serving their local community. It could be an environmental club that cleans up the local beaches. Or maybe the group is cause-based, focused on serving mental health and wellness. A companion club could also be a specialty club for polio or Alzheimer's. Impact clubs are a type of companion club that is service-focused. And remember, companion clubs are designed to build up existing clubs to do the acts of service in their community.
So that video gives you some background about how a companion impact club match up. So to dive a little deeper into this, I'd like to introduce you to Patrick Longano. Patrick is the creator of the companion club model, and he's also the founder of Impact, the first companion club. So Patrick, let's take it away.
Thank you, Chris. The impact model is a pioneering type of companion club. Again, it's a type of companion club, and it has emerged as the most successful in Rotary's history. Showcased at this year's Rotary International Convention in Melbourne and also at last year in Houston. It's specifically crafted to collaborate closely with home clubs, fortifying existing memberships and bolster their impact, all without initiating new clubs. At its core, the impact model employs a four-step process to empower existing Rotary clubs and forming companion impact clubs. This tool becomes invaluable for clubs aiming to enhance both membership and impact while upholding their club's essence. Working in tandem with the home club, impact becomes a service powerhouse, reinforcing the local community's reach. Noteworthy is the fact that when an impact club forms, not only do their service hours surge, but the home club's engagement in service activities also rises. A fascinating trend to witness. Beyond fortifying existing Rotary clubs, Impact serves as an enticing avenue for service-focused individuals to enter Rotary, offering a unique pathway for those who may not have previously considered joining. It also acts as a safety net for retaining Rotarians during life or club challenges. The Impact Companion Club model continues to thrive, attracting and retaining members. Accessible and inclusive, the Impact model provides a platform for service enthusiasts across generations to connect, collaborate, and make a tangible impact. Members working closely within their home clubs gain access to a wealth of resources and expertise, fostering skill, development, and leadership growth. Furthermore, the impact model offers adaptability in service, tailoring projects to meet community needs. This fosters a sense of community and shared purpose, motivating service-focused individuals. The collaborative and individualized service projects showcase the club's true reach in the community, enhancing its public image and attracting like-minded individuals. In conclusion, the impact model, as a companion club, creates pathways for service-focused individuals to join Rotary. Through connection, collaboration, and impactful projects, Impact contributes to a vibrant Rotary community devoted to service above self and Rotarians in action. Now, what you see on the screen right now is a specialized QR code that links to a calendar for all of our specialists on this call. If you or your club has any interest, or if a companion club might work for you, take out your phone right now and scan this QR code. Then pick a date and time for a one-on-one with our trained innovators, who will also answer any additional questions on whether or not adding a companion club to build up your existing club is right for you and your club. You never know until you ask, so scan the QR code now before all the spots get taken. And besides, also too, in the chat, there is a specialized link that you can click on to get more information emailed to you. But if you scan this QR code, you'll get a quick 15-minute session at your leisure to go over again and see if any type of companion club might be good for your club's growth. Thank you for listening and learning about companion and impact models. I will now turn the stage over to Zone 34 Map Ambassador, Zone Lead, George Robertson Burnett, and Impact Club leader, J.J. Lullen.
Well, I will confirm that I am wearing a kilt in honor of Angus earlier, but you'll have to take my word for that. Thank you, Patrick, for an enlightening presentation on companion and impact club models. Of course, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to these club models. But now that we have introduced these club types to you, we are pretty certain that you'll want to learn from some real-world experience. And with that in mind, let me introduce J.J. Lullen, who with Mark Ramey and Mary Ellen Kerber organized the first Impact Companion Club in District 6980 as part of the Rotary Club of Dr. Phillips in the Orlando area. Graduating from West Point in 1976, JJ had a 20-year military career, eventually retiring as Lieutenant Colonel. But we're delighted that he continues as a soldier of service in Rotary. JJ currently serves as Orlando Chapter Director of Hope Worldwide, Rotary District 6980 Service Chair, the Chair of Florida's first Impact Companion Club, Sergeant at Arms of the Rotary Club of Dr. Phillips, and he is a big brother and big sister to all the kids in the lunchroom of Tangelo Park Elementary. JJ, let's begin with a few questions to help our audience understand what attracted you to Impact Companion Model, and also to let us know a little bit about the process. Firstly, can you tell us what ignited your interest and what inspired you, Mark and Mary, to create this new companion club?
Well, thank you, George. I'm so glad to be here with you guys. You know, when I first heard about Impact Club, my reflex response was, yes, we have to do this. You know, after more than 4 years of community service myself, I appreciate that there are a lot of people out there who want to be involved in making a difference and want to change lives in their community. But it always seems in talking to them, there's two things that hold them back. One is they just don't have a lot of free time. And then they don't know what organization they can truly trust in what they want to do. Impact clubs of Rotary help us check both boxes for so many people. First, one of the key traits of Rotarians is the fact you can trust that we're going to do what we say we're going to do. If we're going to serve the community, we're actually going to do that, no doubt of that. And the second thing is that people can serve on their time. We get to meet them where they are. And so potential servants don't have to worry about the commitment of time because it's based on how they fit it into their schedule. Not only aligning with their own schedule, but they can pick and choose times toward the events that truly impact their hearts. You know, noticing that Rotary, that Impact Club would do that, I'm excited, and I was just sold from the start, ready to roll.
Well, we're so glad you were sold on this, and it appears that making an impact through service and inclusivity was central to your aim. Can you tell us the lasting impact you are striving to create in your community and perhaps beyond?
You know, George, we think about this idea of it takes a village, and we know that's really a kind of thing to say. However, one of our goals with our Impact Club is to really make ourselves a living example of that village. By shining our lights into a variety of different areas, we want people to see what we do and note that it actually matches what we say. As well, we expect to expand the concept of village. Let's not limit our village just to a zip code or some county boundary. For example, where the hospitals where we serve, we want to consider it our hospital. Wherever school we support, we want to consider that our school. Whatever neighborhood we walk into, we want to consider that our neighborhood. This is what we want to create, this group of people who openly live and view any community as deserving the good things that happen all around them, as if this was happening right outside our front door.
I love that vision, JJ. And regarding the inclusivity, how important is that to your mission? And can you perhaps share a story of how that importance has made a significant difference to your members?
You know, we realize we can't prejudge whether somebody will be in Rotary, if it really fits them or not. Nor can we set up parameters which exclude people. One example that comes to mind is we have a neighborhood very close to where our Rotary Club meets. And as we started talking about impact, we started asking ourselves, wondering out loud why we don't have any members from that neighborhood. And we had thought about it. We wondered, are our dues too high? Is the time commitment too much? And then Impact allowed us to reduce those two hurdles. And as we did that, we already right now have 2 members from that neighborhood, touching and working with those whom we had previously not had in our club. It now allows us to expand our territory and our sphere of community influence.
That's a great example of expanding your reach, JJ. Love that. So thinking of the process of creation of the club, can you tell us how the process worked for you, what assistance you received, and perhaps take us through the steps to creation?
Yeah, Troy, it was really great. The process started with us getting a clear understanding of what it meant to be an Impact Club, and Patrick's team provided that to us. Once we had that, we started to frame how to present this idea to our home club and to our home club members. And as we did that, we had our home club member buy-in. We got assistance through Patrick and his team to help us create a separate Impact Club application and to use that as a test run for how the application would go through a process. We did a pilot test of how to make it happen, how to make things come together with the application with potential members. Then we got together in our home club and we set up calendars, how we're going to run a calendar, how would dues be collected, on, to figure out the administration of how that would happen. Now, to truly kick off this new club, we, of course, needed 12 members. To do this, we looked around our own club at what we call some low-hanging fruit, such as former Rotary members who had recently dropped out of membership, or anybody who was thinking about dropping out of Rotary. We asked them, how about joining an Impact Club instead of leaving Rotary altogether? It was that last step which helped us getting close to 6 of that initial 12 members we needed.
So, JJ, as a follow-up to that, did you meet any resistance along the way?
No, I don't think we met a lot of resistance. There were legitimate questions, which we expected. Thankfully, Patrick and his team helped us to think ahead and to prior presenting to our club to talk to some of the brainstorming some of those questions. Questions such as, would Impact have an ongoing connection with the home club? What would Impact do as far as dues are concerned? And did Impact have to have its own bylaws? We looked at all those different kinds of questions before we got in front of the home team. And then once we got in front of our home club, none of those questions they actually raised were surprising to us. We were ready. And each time we had feasible and sensible answers. And I think we avoided any kind of strong resistance.
Yeah, it sounds like your inclusivity won the day regarding any possible roadblocks. So lastly, JJ, how do you envisage the future of your Impact Companion Club? And is there a message you'd like to convey to those who may be considering starting a companion club, either Impact or any other format?
We envision the future of the Impact Club virtually the same as the future of our home club. Those two are tied together. What we really foresee is becoming the embodiment of what we think Samaritan. I know many of us have heard the story of the Good Samaritan, and we imagine a community we're filled with Good Samaritans. Imagine people who are that's all they do is worry about serving others and serving their community. We envision being the hands and feet of an army of Samaritans who are so dedicated to service that the world around cannot help but sit up and take notice. And we imagine how such a group will have a profound impact on changing lives all around the world.
Hey, thank you so much, JJ, for sharing your inspiring insights and experiences with us. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. And please stay around, as I'm sure there are some questions out there that you can help us answer. And with that in mind, let's get to our questions and answer session, which will be moderated this month by our Zones 33-34 Regional Membership Officer and MAP team member, Jose Gonzalez. And so it's over to you, Jose.
Thank you very much, George. Now it's time to hear from our participants. Do you have a burning question that you've been wanting to ask, let's say Patrick, Chris, or JJ? Well, now's your opportunity. Add your questions using the Q&A function down below in our Zoom platform. When you put your question there, our Q&A moderator support team will pull them to ensure we can ask them here live and you get your answer. So to kick us off, why don't we start with a question for, let's say, Chris. Chris, Some of our members feel that our markets may be oversaturated with Rotarians. How is creating a companion club going to help?
Great question, Jose, and thanks for asking. In any of our markets, we do not even really penetrate 1% of our population, so I don't see oversaturation as an issue. Where we can expand our reach into our communities is by letting them know that Rotary is more adaptable than in the past. We're very interested in creating Rotary Club models that meet members where they are in their life today. Our companion club model allows our traditional clubs to continue with what they are in their existing format, and also opens a new type of club that appeals to a new generation of Rotary members that have a heart of service and want to engage with Rotary, but can also do so with more flexibility than ever before. This is a great opportunity for us to expand our reach and engage our members and communities in ways not seen before. And this will certainly create additional impact in our communities locally and globally.
Wow, Chris, thank you very much for that answer. It sounds like there's more than enough to go around, and creating these companion clubs opens up an opportunity for the next generation who will become, hopefully, our future Rotary leaders. Now, our next question here is for anyone on the panelists, and this one comes from Albert Blackman, who wrote, "Can you enlighten us on the membership dues for the companion club members?"
We only offer advice. The club sets the dues. Okay. One of my strongest opinion is I like a even number. $15 a month, $20 a month, $25 a month, that sort of thing. It brings and will widen your reach for the people that you can bring into your club by doing it that way. JJ, did you find that same way when you were doing that?
I did, Patrick. One of the things too that we looked at from our end, we looked at the dues that are being paid by the home club. What are those dues go towards? And it said, is it the same for an impact member? For example, having breakfast or coming to lunch or whatever it be. And if that's part of the dues, then for an impact member who's not coming to breakfast or lunch, they didn't have to pay that part of the dues. So once we looked at that, that's where the difference became. What value do the dues bring? And is it the same for someone who's in the home club or the impact club? So where it's different is where there's really not a need for the impact member to pay the same if it's like, say, breakfast or lunch or whatever it may be. Absolutely.
Great. Patrick and JJ, thank you very much for that response. Our next question here is in reference to some data and case studies. Where can we find some case studies that highlight the value add from a volunteer group standpoint for partnering with Rotary to create a cause-based club versus continuing as they are now?
Chris, do you want to take that one, my friend?
Actually, Patrick, I think you're better to take that one because you have some case studies available for folks to look at, right?
Sure. And I just want to make sure that I understand the question.
So the question here, Patrick, is asking, where can we find the data that says impact clubs are successful? Where's the longevity for success on this? Is there somewhere that this is housed that someone can find to just learn more?
Absolutely. We keep a spreadsheet. It was born right here in zone 33 and 34. There are people on this call right now that fostered the first impact club through the zone 33, 34 ICA initiative. People like Director-elect Patrick Eakes, Chris Jones, Audley Knight, PDG Nico Iannelli, a lot of people on this call that fostered that, starting it a little over 3 years ago. And right now we're either working with or have completed over 150 clubs worldwide. We have, I believe, multiple clubs, 4 or 5 in Great Britain and Ireland. We have a club in the Netherlands, clubs all over the United States. Last week we had, I believe, 4 clubs start here in the United States, 2 in Pennsylvania. We've got another one in Delaware. We've got another one going in Missouri. And it's not just the small clubs. It's not the small clubs or the medium clubs that, have lost members down to a certain point. The bigger clubs are chiming in. JJ's club is a wonderfully sized club for that down in the Orlando area, the Dr. Phillips area, and they weren't waiting for that attrition to take hold. They knew that they can continue to recruit new people that were not normally targets for their club. And they've grown, I think JJ and them put 27 or 28 members on in less than a year, if I'm not mistaken, JJ?
That's absolutely correct. 28 members in less than a year in our Impact Club.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
Right.
you will see, though, Jose, you'll see a growth in the home club as well. Okay, because once people get excited and they start seeing people come in, you will see people join the home club as well as the Impact Club or another type of companion club, because people will realize that they can recruit differently to that model.
Great. Thank you, Patrick.
And
Go ahead, Chris.
can I add one thing to that, Patrick? You may have mentioned it and I may have missed it, but we have something along the lines of 185 of these club types around the world that are up and running now. Is that right? We have about 185 of these club types that are up and running around the world.
Oh, all over. But that doesn't include I mean, there's a bunch of clubs out there that have done this by just watching the videos that we've done from Australia at the convention in Houston. And the first one in Toronto, or excuse me, in Ontario, started just by watching the videos. So it's starting to really kind of build. The companion club model is a way for you to increase your membership at your club without the fear of it breaking off and forming a new club. It's a way to build up your own club.
Great. Thank you very much, gentlemen. JJ, I think this one's going to be for you. Does a companion club have a structure like the home club? For example, a board, a president, secretary. What's the hierarchy structure look like?
That is a good question. That's one of the things we did talk about. The companion club does have a president, a secretary, and a treasurer. Right now, we haven't given them a lot to do, but we see that as sort of the next phase. As we talked about, we're a young Impact Club. We're just a year old, but we see the next step being more of that structure. For example, how often we're going to have any kind of meeting, be that face-to-face or Zoom or something else. That'll be our next discussion. And then how do we actually move forward with these officials, president, vice president, treasurer, and secretary? Those three in particular we don't see right now a complete need for more than that, because again, we rely on the home club to take care of a lot of the other things. But we do understand that there's a need for some further structure as we go forward and as we start to learn more and as we grow. And like I said, we're up to 27, 28 members now. We start getting up over 30 or 40, we're going to need more of a system about how they all work together with the home club.
Well, JJ, I'm glad to have you there to help
support.
support.
On that real quick too.
Go ahead, Patrick.
On any kind of companion club, whether it be a satellite, a companion club, any of those things at all, Rotary International only requires you to have a chair and a secretary. So those are the two positions that it requires. Now, we have helped companion clubs form, and they have an absolute full board, and they want to operate that way. But we do the old KISS method. So having the name chair, I got JJ to smile, which was my job tonight, and a secretary. It really makes the club cohesive when they're working together like that.
Great, thank you. Now, JJ, I believe that you mentioned you didn't receive any resistance to the recommendation of creating a companion club, but let's say that there was some. Can anyone on the group give some, let's say, feedback or suggestions on how to overcome this resistance with your club when you want to recommend for forming a companion club?
As we were putting it together, Jose, we talked about, as I mentioned, the questions that we expected to see, as well as we talked about a pilot test. Hey, let us do a pilot run. Let us sort of go out and see if we can even find members. If we can't even find members, we don't need to have this thing. We can't put it together. But let us go out and the first fruit of going out to talk to people who had already left the club, who had terminated their membership. So let's go after them first. And once we showed to the home club and to those who may have been naysayers that, hey, we can bring these people back, we can do these other things, they started to ease any kind of feelings of, oh my goodness. And we did, as Patrick made very clear, we're not trying to create a club that's going to spin off and do its own thing. It really is an extension of the home club. And we really rely on being the home club does. We share a calendar with each other in the home club. We're part of the same team. So any fears that, they're going to go off and do their own thing or anything, that we allayed right away up front.
Great. Chris and Patrick, do you have any additional suggestions if there's resistance in the club?
Well, you're going to have resistance, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But we shouldn't ask people to change. I know that we've heard it a lot. Your club needs to change. You need to change. You need to do this. No, we're standing on the shoulders of giants here. People that have been in their club 20, 30 years that came into service following their heart, and they've provided that service, as my friend Nico likes to say, time, talent, treasure. During that time, we're looking at legacy. How can we help their club that is in a downward trend in attrition and turn that around so they can leave that legacy to that next generation? And when you talk to them like that, when you're patient with them during these steps in whatever companion club that you decide to do, it's a discovery process. The first one's just to talk. The second one is maybe answering questions for a couple of people. A lot of times they bring their board for the second or third step. So it's just being real and genuine with people and answering their questions so they don't have the fear that they're going to lose what they have. You're not asking them to change. You're just asking them to open their heart up, open their tent up, open their club up for people to serve just a little bit differently.
Wonderful. Thank you. Chris, this next one is for you. Do impact clubs need their own charter?
So most clubs do go ahead and formally charter through Rotary International, and you need that minimum of 8 members to do so. I can tell you that our process of getting companion clubs online, we typically start with the question of, do you plan on starting with 12 or 15 members? You really need a true, what's the word I'm looking for here? A true grassroots organization of some size to accomplish what you're trying to get done. So there are some clubs out there that have gone ahead and formed without going through the charter process. The downside of doing that is that Rotary doesn't know you exist. So it's always a good idea to make sure that you're keeping up with RI on doing that. And by the way, when you do go through the process with our companion club innovators, we do all the process for you. We walk you through the process. We have electronic forms that we use. We send it all off with DocuSign, and it ends up at a person's desk at RI to get your club online. So it's very efficient, very quick, very expedient.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chris. In fact, this next one's actually for you as well, Chris. Thinking about documentation, does a companion club have a separate constitution and bylaws, or perhaps just a separate bylaws?
So actually, the companion club would form with its own set of operating guidelines, not bylaws, not constitution. All Rotary clubs adopt the Rotary International Club Constitution, and so everybody operates under that same principle. But in terms of the actual bylaws, first of all, the home club's bylaws need to be amended to allow a companion club to be formed, and then the companion club really operates under guidelines.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chris. Now, this one's for anyone on the group. Can impact members serve on the board since they are active members?
I'll start with that, and then I saw Patrick's hand go up, but I want to emphasize that it's really important that the board of directors of the home club have a member of the companion club serving, and it's also a good idea for the companion club to have a member of the home club serving on their leadership team. I hesitate to call it a board because you don't really have a board at the companion club. So those two elements are really important to make sure that you have cross-training, cross-communication, complete cooperation of both clubs. JJ, you may have something as an actual experiential to add to that, and I know Patrick is anxious to jump on this as well.
Well, let me jump ahead of Patrick then, because he'll go for about an hour or so. So we did that, and we did exactly as Chris talked about, where we had a member from the Impact Club on the board for the home club, and likewise we had that what we call a coordinator from the home club with the Impact Club, so that we could keep the communication channels open, because it was the Impact Club members are sort of sitting on the side and may not be getting all the communications. Likewise, the home club doesn't know exactly what exactly is that Impact Club doing. So having those people who are sitting on both sides, if you will, they can help fill in any missing information and help close that information gap or what happens. So we did that, absolutely.
Great, thank you. Now, how do you sell the idea of paying dues to volunteer? Many individuals do not understand why they should be paying dues in order to help us with our projects, grow, do more. What do they get for paying these dues? And Patrick, we're pitching that one to you, bud.
Oh, I got an answer for you. Everybody on this call pays dues to Rotary International and their district, and they see value in that. So it's no different, absolutely zero difference with any kind of companion club member. If they believe in our mission and they want to build a grassroots for their community and for their world, and you show them the benefits of becoming a member of Rotary International, the dues is just like anybody else on this call. It's well worth it.
Thank you, Patrick.
And I'll take that down one more level if you don't mind, and add on to what Patrick was just saying, because what he said is very valuable. But I also believe that dues paying and card carrying Rotarians have a lot of benefits of being able to call themselves a Rotarian. Not only do they get to wear the pin to advertise themselves as Rotary members, but they also get to participate in one of our most incredible experiences, which is doing foundation grants. And through the work of our Rotary Foundation, doing work at home or doing work abroad, we really show the impact of what Rotary can do. And I saw a question in the Q&A earlier about there's a community corps, the Rotary Community Corps. And the big difference between the Companion Club model and the Rotary Community Corps is that Rotarians get to participate in grants. Community Corps participants don't. So, keep that in mind.
And Community Corps participants are not Rotarians. They do not pay Rotary dues. They do international dues. They do not pay district dues. They're not Rotarians. They're people out in the community, and they do such wonderful work. But companion clubs will build your club and build Rotarians.
And in terms of paying foundation dues, I can mention this because we found it to be true. When Rotarians are inspired as to what we can do with the Rotary Foundation, they have no problem making donations to the Rotary Foundation. Where we fail as an organization is requiring members. I mean, we can't really require them, we can't mandate it, but where we just add it onto their dues invoice and it's almost like a tax that they pay. We need to make sure that our members fully understand the value that our Rotary Foundation brings to our organization and the great work that we do through the Rotary Foundation. And when they're inspired, giving $10 a month or $20 a month is not an issue. It just happens.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. What a lively discussion. Had a lot of fun, and I'm sure all of our participants enjoyed themselves. So as a final reminder, scan this code that you see right now on your screen and ensure that we can book some time with our trained innovators. They'll be able to help answer any additional questions that we didn't tackle here today and help you develop any type of companion club, as well as coach you on how to follow through with the process. Again, thank you very much for the lively Q&A session this evening. I had a great time. Learning more about the companion and impact club models has certainly been enlightening. And now back to you, Director Jeremy.
Well, thank you, Jose, for doing such a great job moderating our questions tonight. And to our panelists for doing such a great job answering them, and also to Chris for so ably emceeing our main program. So I hope tonight that some of the myths and legends around satellite clubs, companion clubs, and impact clubs have now been dispelled. It's never been easier to try something new to serve your members and community better. And as you heard from Chris, Patrick, George, and JJ, adapting to create a new club model can engage your club and your members. It can reach new people and expand your ability to impact your community. And you'll recognize these terms: impact, reach, engagement, and adaptability from Rotary's strategic action plan. And it's no accident that this plan, which MAP operationalizes and on which it's modeled, provides such an effective template to grow Rotary and create, as President-elect Stephanie says, irresistible clubs. So now let's take a moment to recognize our District MAP Award winners from the Rotary year 2022-23. And as you can see, the 13 districts that achieved map recognition last year, they're on the screen right in front of you. Congratulations to those districts and all their members. I can tell you that we hope to at least double that this coming year. Next up are the Map Club Award winners from the Rotary year 2022-23. There were 131 clubs who participated and grew their clubs to achieve gold, silver, and bronze recognition. Well done. You see them on the screen now, and I'm proud of each and every one of these clubs for committing to MAP and seeing the fruits of their labor grow their clubs. Please show them kudos by hitting that reaction button. Let's see some love. There you go. So this year's awards criteria are driven, as I said, by action items. And we will release a specific membership-related action item during each webinar. Completion of these action items will determine the level of the award your club achieves. And of course, your club also needs to grow to receive one of these awards. Districts will be awarded and rewarded in direct relationship to the level of participation of their clubs in their district, with top participating districts being eligible, of course, for the gold award. And there are also silver and bronze awards that, to be perfectly frank, all of these awards are a wonderful achievement. You've got to start somewhere. So like with our clubs, your districts need to show a level of membership growth for the year to achieve any of these awards. And this month's action plan item, drum roller here, is to report on a prospect identification activity and how it worked. For further explanation and to find the report form, please copy the URL you'll now find in the chat. Or go to Zone's 3334 website and search MAP Awards. Again, the report form is right there. And if you have any questions regarding the awards program, once again, please put them in that chat box. So here are the first 3 action items to be completed. Number 1, set your goal in the Membership Success Center. Number 2, create a club membership plan. And report an action you took as a result of the MAP webinars and the resulting outcome. And we encourage you to take these steps towards growing your membership and having a greater impact in your community by completing the August, September, and October action items by November 30th. And of course, the November action item is due December 31st. You can report your club's completion of these action items at the link that was just placed in the chat, as I said. And the image on your screen is what you should see after following that link in the chat. So now for a few upcoming webinars. Self-promotion is necessary to maximize your club's opportunities. Let's not be shy about how good we are. Learn how to reach your target audience and increase awareness during the upcoming public image webinar, Leverage the Power of Publicity, on November 27th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can register for this webinar at elevaterotary.org. And of course, our next Membership Action Plan webinar is on Monday, December the 11th at 6 p.m. Eastern again. And we're excited to bring you MAP Unplugged, the holiday edition. Now, this was written for me to read to you about the December webinar. And George, have you seen this?
Well, I'm afraid I have.
And you're good with this?
Well, actually, I don't believe I ever said I was good with it. But it's the holidays, so let's go with it.
Well, okay, here we go. So, the MAP Unplugged December webinar is a unique and rebellious twist on the traditional Membership Action Plan MAP event, hosted by the Rotary Rebels, disguised as owls. This unconventional webinar will not only address burning questions from the audience, but also dive right into lesser known aspects of MAP, all while providing a refreshing and informal atmosphere that breaks away from the usual formalities, if ever we had them. And if we can get away with it, please bring the eggnog. Oh my goodness. Well, we're in for Well, I'm not exactly sure what we're in for, but yeah, you'll know it's going to be fun. And you can sign up for this webinar using the link again in the chat. And lastly, remember, it's never too late to kickstart your membership growth. All you have to do is, number one, set your goals in the Membership Action Plan Membership Success Center. Secondly, attend these monthly Membership Action Plan webinars. And thirdly, last but not least, implement the attraction and engagement strategies to become completely irresistible. Let's make a bigger impact in our communities and create a plethora of companion clubs as we do it. Thank you for being with us this evening. We look forward to seeing you next month on December 11th. Have a wonderful month. Take care and good night.